So I feel like it wasn't necessarily necessary to throw $200 or so at this project that didn't really take off as much as I hope it would. But I did it anyway because it was either, with all the Christmas money I got, it was either a brand new buggy kit that I didn't have any electronics for and would have to cannibalize this thing, or I upgrade the crap out of this thing and hope that it would actually work as well as any regular vehicle or race competition buggy. So I just made it more like a competition buggy and hoped that it would work. So how's it going, YouTube? It's Lucas here from FWD 205 channel, and today I have a video on this, which if many people haven't really seen, because I can't imagine that they probably have been looking on Facebook or whatever. This is a front-wheel drive Traxxas Rustler, and you might say, well, that doesn't look anything like a Traxxas Rustler because the body's on backwards. But it isn't, because this is a Pro-Line finisher body, and for 10th scale truggies and stuff, that I had put on this Rustler, that I put four-wheel drive hub components on the rear and four-wheel drive A-arms to make it steer from the rear and lock the front, put some longer RPM front A-arms on there, and that's essentially all that you have to do actually to make it front-wheel drive. You have to get longer steering links and mount the servo where the servo would mount to on the throttle servo would mount to on the classic Rustler chassis. But yeah, this currently is what I have it set up to. This is after all of that upgrading. Some of it you can't really tell that it actually is worth any of that, because a lot of it is just components that were necessary that aren't really visually interesting, as I should say. This J-Concept finisher body got painted up. This was one of the first things that I did to it after not having a body for it. It has front-wheel drive. It's Tamiya light green and what is it? Gunmetal gray in the back of it. I don't actually have a black back coat on it. This says front-wheel drive and FWD 205 on the side of it, and some pinstripe work just because, you know, I wanted it to look a little bit cooler. I have the wing actually mounted to the body for the time being because I have to sort out other stuff to actually make it so that the wing, you know, mounts separately. So, yes, this is, if many people haven't really seen the previous video I have of it, this is a significant upgrade from it because I had to custom make an aluminum plate. I believe this is 1/8 inch or something, probably not that much, but it's a decent sized thick millimeter plate. So I had to custom make that just so that everything would mount to it, so it'd be a little bit more stable than that pile of plastic over there. And I have a ProTech RC chassis protector on the bottom. I tried countersinking all the holes, and that didn't really work as well as I hoped it would, because you can still see all the bumps and stuff where the screws are. Anyway, currently I have some J-Concepts or Pro-Line short cross truck rims and short cross truck carpet tires on it. I think these are rears on all four just because I don't really know what would go on the rear of a front-wheel drive buggy that would grip on carpet, so I just picked rears. These are painted green only on the outside just because I know you're supposed to dye them green, but whatever. It luckily came out the same green as the transmission, so that looks nice. The inside is still white, but whatever. I don't know why my camera keeps doing that. I have the setting up on my controller, by the way. So these are RPM, four-wheel drive arms on it. Traxxas heavy-duty drive shafts. Not any particular reason I have them, other than they were just the only ones that were actually available. A complete RPM transmission, hybrid transmission with an aluminum motor plate and just the Traxxas gear cover. I had to take all of the gears from the previous Traxxas transmission and put them in here just because I had to. I did have to figure out a lot of toe-in and stuff between the transmission kingpin mounts, I think that's hinge pin mounts, and the A-arms themselves, which that wasn't too difficult to figure out. You just reverse everything from the rear because it's obviously front-wheel drive. RPM shock tower, just because I needed the body clip or the body post because the previous one had been sanded off for some reason. Running a Castle Sidewinder 2, 3, something like that. Castle Sidewinder system in it. It works pretty well and has probably way too much power. So I'm not really going to complain for now until I have to do something about it. I can't imagine there's any set class for front-wheel drive stadium trucks. There's hardly even a class for front-wheel drive buggies. So I can't imagine I would be breaking any rules that don't exist. These are Traxxas T-Max shocks, all aluminum caps and bodies. The front ones are just stock length, and the rears have fuel tubing on the inside to make them as long as Traxxas front two-wheel drive shocks. I will have to sort it out so that I have stock front two-wheel drive stock two-wheel drive front shocks, just so it has a bit more travel than it doesn't. But I mean, it's fine for now. But this is how I mounted the servo. It is currently sitting on two, I don't know what company, standoffs that are drilled into the chassis. I don't know how far they are off of the chassis, but they are. It is just a servo on some standoffs. I can't use the front ones because otherwise the servo horn would hit them. With just a stock Traxxas servo horn with the servo saver in it, and just have some links connected to that. These are pretty long links, so that's something to have to look for. I had painted the chassis with the same gunmetal as on the body, so I just, with that all painted up, I just hot glued the ESC down and drilled some holes and stuff for the receiver box, which most people will remember previously I had an old 27 megahertz system, or actually 72 megahertz Futaba system in it, and I obviously upgraded. This is now a FlySky FSGT3CB, whatever. It's the one with batteries in it instead of a rechargeable. I have that in it just so I got that a while ago for all of my trucks, and it's really nice because 10 model memory on this thing. I'll probably do a review of the remote a bit later. So that's in here. I wish I didn't have to use the receiver box, but it was just the most convenient way that I could think of before I hot glued down the ESC to mount the receiver. I guess I didn't mention the servo. This is a Savox. Well, I don't know which Savox it is. It's just a Savox servo. It goes really fast and has probably too much speed for me to keep up with. So, it's fine the way it is. Now, if you'll notice one thing, I do not have the battery mounted or any place for the battery to go, because I'm still working on that. I'm thinking of just one or two Velcro straps, just going through the chassis, through little slots or something, and just going underneath the chassis protector, just to hold the battery in. I do have to use Shorty 2S lipos. Mine is a ProTech. No, I don't remember. I don't have the battery, it doesn't matter. It's 130C battery, so it's way more powerful than I need it to be. But I just have that. I haven't run this thing yet, so I don't know quite how it handles, but probably just gonna have it velcroed down right about there. These are Traxxas 4Tech front body mounts. I just have screwed into the chassis just because I have to have something that the body can mount to, and well, that's about the only reason. Because the fronts wouldn't work as they're angled. So this will be the wing mount. It'll be pretty extreme wing angle, but whatever. The rears, I don't know if I talked about the rear yet, but if I do, or if I did, then sorry. RPM, longer front A-arms and longer front links, just to make the track widths even throughout. Other than that, nothing really changed. I had to put lockout links on here. I will have to change the screw for this because apparently that isn't actually screwed into the caster block. Caster block is only being held in by 2 screws at the front, so I have to put some chassis braces and stuff throughout it. I'm probably going to go Arma style with just a big tube going from here, or from here to here. Well, not the body post, but through here to here. Just to make it easier for myself. I'm sure that probably adds plenty of rigidity to it. So, besides that, I think that's about the only thing that I have to cover. This video wasn't very scripted or planned whatsoever. I just had the time, so I finally actually sat down and did this overview. So, yeah, I don't know when I'll be able to drive it. I have dirt tires. I can run it on clay if I need to. But currently it's like 12 inches of snow outside, so, and the indoor tracks are closed because of this stupid thing that we have to deal with. So yeah, Lucas out by YouTube or wherever I post it. Probably be a link to it on Facebook. Yeah, I'll take some beauty shots and put it up on Traxxas Extreme Customs, just because, boy, yo, did they not expect this. Also, the funniest part of this entire thing, and mainly the reason I do this whole RC thing, is there's these random wild chassis or wild creations. Main reason I do them is just A, because they haven't been done, and B, the reactions. Because going to many different hobby stores and being known for the person that just comes in for the weirdest of stuff and the most random ideas, and supporting the hobby stores a lot more than I should be, because, you know, granted, $150 in the grand scheme of things isn't a whole lot of money, but it is for just parts. So yeah, main thing I do it is for reactions, because most people haven't even seen a front wheel drive Rustler, and it's amazing that I get to be one of the first people that actually show it off and put as much effort into it as I have. If I ever get carbon fiber sheeting or stuff, I will put it wherever I can on this vehicle, which isn't very many spots, but I'm sure I could probably figure it out. I know at least one place would be the back wing here, and probably the front shock tower. The rear shock tower might also work too. It's weird labeling this stuff because I don't, oh, front is front on this, but someone will see it and be like, front. So, I don't know. This video is way too long for pretty much nothing. And sorry I don't have any of the part numbers. Most of this stuff is not with me for some reason. So yeah, I guess that's about it.